So how do you fancy having your entire life in one book? To me, as a journaler, and a planner, that sounds really interesting and really intriguing. And one of the reasons I journal is to capture my life and record memories and events and all that kind of stuff. Well, a lovely lady called Stephanie Dipple contacted me, as she has self-published a book on Amazon, and she asked if I could, if she could send me a copy for review, etc. And I had a look on Amazon and I had a check out, and I said, yeah, okay, yeah, cool, send it over. And it's here, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So all I have literally done is looked at the cover and the back and done a really quick, sort of scan through of the book, because I thought that this is something that we could look at together. So the front of the cover says, "My life in a book, a journey, a memory, a keepsake." So as I was saying, that's something that's really appealing to me as a journaler, and yeah, I was kind of really intrigued to sort of learn more about it. So anyway, on the back cover it says, "We create our own reality. This book consists of life-related questions made for you to fill out. There are tons of questions to be answered, over 80 categories providing hours of fun. My life in a book covers a wide range of topics important to every individual. This book is a keepsake of all your memories. It's something to look back on in years to come. Also, this book helps you to discover yourself and find out who you are. Please enjoy filling this book out. If there is one book to keep for a lifetime, then this is that book." Okay, sounds really interesting. So my very initial thoughts are, this sounds fantastic. My only initial point on this, and that's not taking anything away from the book itself, is I'm not necessarily so keen on the cover, but it's only a cover. Purely because I'm thinking, if you're having this book for a long time and you're in and out of it, and that it's paperback, it might get quite dog-eared, but it's only a cover, so you could cover that cover, or get like a like a Hobonichi style type cover to slip it in or anything. So that really is only a very minor point, is the cover. But also need to remember, this is a self-published through Amazon, so the kind of like maybe a hardback version would be better, but that may not be available through Amazon. I don't know, I've never self-published. But yeah, so that was my own initial thought, that if you have this a long time and you're constantly flipping through it, it might get a bit dog-eared, but easily rectified by covering the book with somehow and reinforcing it, or buying a cover. So yeah, so having a flick through, the book is in a kind of Times Roman kind of font, and it's got various different questions and things, and let's go through it a bit more. Okay, so this is kind of, as you can see, I need to kind of stretch the spine a little bit. So this book belongs to date started this book, date finished this book, and then it's got contents of different things. Wow, there's quite a lot of different things in there. Okay, so it's got me, myself and I, 10 facts about me, personality traits. I tell you what, I will leave it open, and if you want to pause the video to read these, then you can. So saves me having to read them out for you. And just flatten the book just a little bit, but it will like lay flat once you start using it as you're going through. So as you see, there's quite a lot of different subjects and topics and things you can write about. So yeah, just different things to write in and record about yourself. 10 facts about me. Cool. So yeah, so that's quite cool. These kind of things are quite popular at the moment, aren't there? There's a lot of people that do list type things, and actually I'm wondering whether you might not, you might not necessarily want to even write in this book. You might actually just want to use this as prompts and put it in your journal and just use this as a prompts book. Circle your personality traits. That's interesting. I like that. That's just something different that I haven't seen before. Negative traits. Things about your body. Things you like about yourself. Ooh, finding 10 things. That might be quite difficult for some people. Things I don't like about myself. Where you currently live. So there's some, as I say, because all of this isn't lined, so you kind of, depends on how big or little you write. That might be a good thing, because if you write small and you've got a lot to say, you can probably fit a lot in there, whereas sometimes with lines, you might not be able to use that, but it's interesting. Interesting. So, about your family and your pets, family tree, that's cool. Oh, how you met your partner and how you met and everything. Okay. Things about your children. Oh, lots of children. 6 children, good lord. If you don't have children. Okay, so some of the topics in here may be triggers for some people, so just if that's the sort of thing that you might be concerned about, then obviously just watch that. Some friends, but obviously, you know, take it with a little bit of, you know what I'm trying to say, that obviously there's some things that might prompt kind of like an emotional response for yourself, so that could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you're feeling, but obviously you've got to kind of sort of take responsibility for that, if you know what I mean. So things about writing about your favourites. Now, my initial thought on this is that it's absolutely fantastic for prompts and things, but for example, favourites, my favourite colour now is not the same colour that it was some time ago and all that sort of stuff. So, in a lot of respects, I personally would probably say that you would either need multiple books throughout your life, or you could use this as prompts and transfer the stuff into your actual journal, because things change. So least favourites. There's lots of different prompts in here. So if you're looking for something, if you're looking for you know, like hobbies and interests. See, my hobbies and interests have changed quite a lot over the years. So you may want to kind of, if you were to do it, you may want to, I don't know, because when I was younger I used to go horse riding. So you may want to, if you filled it in, you may want to put horse riding and then the date, maybe. I don't know. Depends on whether you're going to write in this book or use it as a prompt for outside the book. As I say, because some of my interests and hobbies have actually changed. But that's, so you might want to do one of these like every 5 years or something and like build up a collection of them, which is quite an interesting idea. But I think there's some really good prompts in here. Life goals and beliefs. Do you believe in ghosts, evolution, aliens, superstitions, karma, afterlife, God? Now, these are some things that I've never really thought of myself. Like, do I believe in life on other planets? I've never sort of necessarily... It's things that you kind of crop up, isn't it, in your life, but whether you actually sort of really think about it. Now, the only thing is, it depends on the sort of person you are, because that isn't necessarily enough room to write, and it's not lined. So, again, you may want to use these as prompts to put in your journal rather than write in here. Unless you could just put, do you believe in ghosts? Yes. Evolution? No. Aliens? Yes. Superstitions? No. Karma? Yes. Afterlife? No. God? Yes. Life on other planets? No. You know, unless you just sort of put yes, no, yes, no, yes, whatever, there isn't necessarily much room to write. It depends on whether you wanted to just put a yes, no answer, or whether you wanted to expand on that, you know, I believe in unicorns because blah, 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 blah. But definitely some interesting prompts that I haven't seen before for journaling. A bit of a CV there of your work or resume. Some travel, things about your childhood, Worst haircuts. I am so not even going to go there. Oh, good lord. School. Hated school. What was you like as a teenager? Oh dear. Don't even want to go there. I was bad. What age did you start wearing makeup? Far too early. Oh dear. Moving on. But that's kind of, I don't know, depending on the sort of childhood and teenage years you had, that could be quite fun. Oh, good lordy. Dating and relationships. So just kind of having a cool... Have I ever kissed a stranger? Kissed the same sex? Turns on, turns off. Which I find romantic. So that, I don't know why those ones haven't got lines, but... Some things I've never really thought about. Crikey, there's lots of things that are quite in-depth to... flowers you would like to receive. Ah. Oh, nice. Oh gosh, ex-boyfriends. Moving on. Hobbies I've done or tried. Things I'd like to learn. Bucket list. Memories. So I guess I'm going quite fast so I can show you the book. But you could just pause on stuff if you want to look at it closer. Like dreams you've had. Talents and achievements. It's quite... I think this is quite good for trying to pull out some positivity from you guys, or like from me, or from whoever, because I think sometimes we often think of the negative stuff, and I think it's quite good sometimes to kind of think about the talents and achievements, because we do have them. We might not think we do, but actually we do. And if you asked, you might not think about it yourself, but if you asked a relative or a friend, they would say, oh, but do you know what, you're really good at making XYZ, or you're really good at listening, or, you know, you might not see the positives in yourself. So I think sometimes it is really good to kind of sit and try and think of the positives, things that you're grateful for, things that you're proud of. That's quite cool. What's in your bag? So that's quite a good sort of thing for here and now. Routines. What makes me happy? Places to visit. What inspires me? So there's quite a lot of positive stuff in here. My life in A to Z. Oh, I wouldn't know where to start. A is for Anna. B is for Brim. C is for curly hair. There we go. Thoughts, views on love, smoking, death penalty, marriage, politics. Oh, crikey. That's quite in-depth. Internet, positive thinking, divorce, being a vegetarian, pregnancy, one-night stands, makeup, adoption, drugs. Cool, blimey. There's some quite in-depth topics there. Stuff to really get you thinking. Nude photography, organic food, soulmates, parents, evolution. So there, so you kind of get the gist. I won't go through the, like, massively through the whole book, because if you think you might find it interesting, then I would certainly go and check it out. I will put the links of the book below. I'll put the name and the title of the book and the amazon.co.uk link. Because obviously if you're in the States, I don't know if you can use the amazon.co.uk link, but then you could always try and find it on .com. So I think for me this book is quite thought-provoking. There's a lot of things in there that I like the positive stuff. I do like the positive stuff. There are some things that, as I said, maybe a bit like, oh, I don't really want to, I don't know actually. Maybe if I'm going through it, I might do it. Would I want to document how I feel on fur coats or food waste? I don't know. Some people would, some people wouldn't. But, you know, I guess you just kind of, this is one of those books that you don't have to fill out in order, that you can just skip around with and fill out as and when you feel like it. But I also think it's one of those books that you wouldn't necessarily... It's one of those books that the information that you record is like current to now. Like the memories probably don't change, but some of the things that you're into now, like as I said, like my favourite colours changed and all that kind of stuff. Favourite pet? Oh, I can't choose a favourite pet. You know, so you may want to do this on a regular basis. I really like the idea of some of the prompts, and I would probably be more inclined to use this as a prompts book for my own journal than I would to complete in here, because some of the sections are quite small and some of them are quite big, if that makes sense. Because I'm just trying to find an example. Like I might have a lot to say about one thing, but not a lot to say about another thing. It's quite hard to describe, isn't it? But there we go. That's kind of my thoughts. I do like this book. I think it's really good for prompts. Some of the questions, the trouble is, it's like what's my taste isn't necessarily your taste. So I love some of the questions. Some of the questions I'm a bit like, but then I don't have to answer all the questions because no one's going to make me. So, yeah, I like it. I probably wouldn't fill it out in the book. I'd probably use it as a prompt. I don't know. Maybe I would use some of them I'd use as a prompt in my journal, and some of them I would probably complete in here. And then you have got a record of your life. So, yes. But as I say, she's I was approached by the author herself if she could send me this book, and she's in the UK, and she's a self-published through Amazon. So this is her first book that she's published herself, and for a first book, I think it's really good, and I can see she's put a lot of work into it, and I don't really know what else to say, really. But I like it. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at my life in a book, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.